I have another great story about that.
Please hold on to that story because what
Okay.
you just said is so very important in all of what I'm trying to say. As a therapist, I'm not interested in so much in the mystery that the word universe implies. I'm very interested in unfolding the mystery and discovering what else is out there. That's part of the fun of meaningful coincidences, to see what else is happening out there. But I'm a therapist and I want to see personal responsibility in creating meaningful coincidences. That's what we do as therapists, is saying, okay, a lot of this stuff happened, but what did you have to do with it? Because that's all you have in your office, is what that person can do, him or herself. So I try to be able to elucidate the multiple ways in which people contribute to the creation of meaningful coincidences, always keeping in mind there's a mystery, which the word universe or consciousness or God suggest. I keep in mind probability or random chance because there's always a probability of a particular coincidence taking place. We may not be able to define that probability very clearly, but it's there. So there's a probability and there's a mystery. But in between is you and me, David, and the people listening and watching us. What did you have to do with creating this coincidence?
Yeah, to me, that's one of the interesting ideas in your book that I never really thought about from that angle, um, that we can play a role in terms of drawing these kinds of experiences to ourselves. In this particular example, I mentioned my grandfather, who was a good male role model for me of, and so after he died, one of the mementos that I had from him was his Stetson hat, made by Stetson, and not a cowboy hat, but more like men used to wear hats in the 40s and so on. One of those hats. And somehow it may have been from a movie where I got this idea, but I decided I wanted to have a rattlesnake headband for this hat. And so as I looked into it, I found out that it was against the law to buy or sell rattlesnake skins in the state of California as protected species. I thought, oh darn, this was my plan. But I'd kind of put it out to some of my friends and, hey, this is what I'm looking for. One of the friends I put it out to, the wife of a colleague who was big into Tarot and did Tarot readings at the Renaissance fairs and so on. So she has a flag that she puts out of her tent, which shows a snake going up a staff kind of symbol. And one day I come back from wherever I had been, and my wife says, oh, Cooch came by, and she left a dead rattlesnake for you, and it's in the freezer. And so here was this rattlesnake in my freezer now, frozen rattlesnake, as a gift. So I hadn't purchased it or anything. And the story was that Cooch went into her washing room. They live in the country, went where the washing machine was, and there was a fully coiled rattlesnake there. He's totally freaked her out and called her husband, and I think got a shovel and they chopped its head off. And then she remembered, oh, David wanted a rattlesnake. And so that's how I got the rattlesnake. I then studied up on it, learned how to tan it, and created it wasn't, I was sort of thinking, okay, this is going to be my shaman's hat in a way. And I realized, well, I'm not a very powerful shaman because this is a pretty small rattlesnake. It wasn't the big, bold rattlesnake I was envisioning. But I found a way to, by wrapping it around another piece of leather and so on, to make it happen. I have that. I could have brought it out to show you.
Well,
But that was putting it out to the universe, and it happened.
you didn't put it out to the universe. You asked somebody.
Probably more than one person. I probably put it out to, a bunch of my friends.
You ask a bunch of people.
Yeah.
That's not putting it out to the universe. It's putting out to your social circle.
Oh, okay.
I just try to get a little more concrete. And there was maybe some probability of that rattlesnake appearing in where the washing machine was. I can't estimate that, but there had to be some. But then there's a little mysterious part of this that you might be calling the universe. That how did the rattlesnake show up during a period of time when you were interested in it? And that has to do with the power of imagining. The earth is being destroyed now by humanity as we are greedily eating up all of its resources and creating all kinds of problems. And with it, a lot of people are imagining a catastrophic future, which seems like the inevitable thing happening. But what we need to do is come together as a species, recognizing we are a collective human organism and that we can find our role, as you have a role and I have a role, and trying to work together as a cell in this collective human organism, and try then to begin imagining, not just imagining, but begin imagining a better future, and then using that imagination to see what needs to happen to help create what we want, and then act. It's not enough to imagine it, and then act in ways that will mitigate the catastrophe that we are creating. So in a larger sense, I am saying we need to become emboldened to create the snake around the head, because the snake around the head is also a symbol of wisdom. A snake is a symbol of wisdom in many cultures, and putting it around your head like this is a way of trying to increase your own wisdom in some kind of mythological ways of thinking. And we need to do that as humanity, what you just did, to imagine a future that we're all part of, to which we're all contributing to maybe make something different happen from the direction we're going.